Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we crack open those thick corporate filings to find the juicy truth. Today we're looking at STEM Inc. and an interesting little amendment to a previous report. Seems like they're cleaning up some details about a recent C-suite departure. Let's dive in and see what this really means for the company. So STEM Inc. has filed an amendment number 2 to their Form 8K. What does that mean in plain English? It basically means they're correcting or adding information to a report they already filed. Think of it like adding a postscript to a letter that you realized you forgot to include something important in. This amendment is all about the departure of their Chief Financial Officer, Spencer Doran-Hole. He stepped down on July 17th, but the company is now releasing more details about the agreement they made with him as he exited. It's not uncommon for companies to iron out these kinds of details after someone leaves, especially when it comes to financial arrangements and future involvement. Remember, STEM is a company that's publicly traded. Their stock is on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol STEM. This means their financial health and any executive changes are of interest to investors and the public. Now let's get to the core of this amendment. STEM and Mr. Hole signed a separation and release of claims agreement. This is a pretty standard legal document when an executive leaves. It essentially lays out the terms of their departure, including what the company will pay them and what the executive agrees to in return. In this case, Mr. Hole is set to receive some pretty significant financial benefits as part of his exit. He's getting a lump sum cash payment of $475,000. That's equal to 12 months of his annual salary right before he left. On top of that, he'll get a prorated bonus for fiscal year 2025 based on how the company actually performed against its goals, and the company will cover his health insurance premiums under COBRA for 9 months after he leaves. This kind of package is pretty typical for senior executives, reflecting their contributions and ensuring a smooth transition, as magsabi not he'll get a prorated bonus for fiscal year 2025 based on how the company actually performed against its goals, and the company will cover his health insurance premiums under COBRA for 9 months after he leaves. This kind of package is pretty typical for senior executives, reflecting their contributions and ensuring a smooth transition. But it doesn't stop there. STEM also entered into an advisor agreement with Mr. Hole. This means he's not completely cutting ties just yet. From his last day on July 17th until August 7th, he'll be providing advisory service. He gets another cash payment of almost $18,300, and rather importantly, some of his stock awards that weren't fully vested yet will now become fully vested on August 7th. This usually happens when a company wants to retain their expertise for a short period or ensure continuity right after their departure. All these payments and benefits are, of course, in exchange for Mr. Hole agreeing to certain conditions. He's not allowed to sue the company, which is what the release of claims part means. He also has to stick to confidentiality rules, not say bad things about the company, and likely not compete with them for a certain period. The report notes that this is just a summary of the agreements and that the full details will be filed later. This is also common practice. Companies often summarize key terms in these initial reports and then file the full legal documents in their next quarterly filing. It gives people a heads up on the financial impact without bogging down the immediate report. Now let's think about what this means for STEM. The departure of a CFO is always a significant event. It can signal internal shifts or a change in financial strategy. In this case, the company seems to be handling it professionally, offering a substantial package to Mr. Hole while also securing his assistance for a short transition period and ensuring he remains bound by non-disclosure and non-compete agreements. From a financial perspective, these payments are an expense for STEM. The $75,000 salary continuation and the advisor fee are direct costs. The vesting of stock options means more shares could be on the market, which could potentially dilute the value for existing shareholders if not managed carefully, though the amount here seems relatively small given the company's overall structure. We need to consider STEM's situation more broadly. They are a company focused on energy storage solutions, a rapidly growing sector. The transition of a CFO could impact investor confidence, especially if it's seen as a sign of instability. However, the fact that they're providing a clear and seemingly fair exit package and retaining Mr. Hole's advisory capacity suggests they are aiming for a smooth handover and minimizing disruption. Looking at their overall strategy, STEM is in a competitive space. Having a stable and experienced finance department is crucial. The market will likely be watching how the new CFO performs and whether this departure causes any organizational ripples. The fact that the original report was amended to include these details shows transparency, which is generally a positive sign for investors. Overall, STEM appears to be navigating this executive change in a structured manner. The financial costs of the separation appear to be well defined and are balanced by agreements that aim to protect the company's interests. The real test will be how the company performs under new leadership and whether this transition has any long-term impacts on its growth trajectory in the critical energy storage market. So what's your take on this executive move at STEM? Does the exit package seem fair? What does this mean for the company's future? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more in-depth corporate analyses. And don't forget to join our community on Discord. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.